Hey guys, Taylor here and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here, thanks for coming back. So in today's video, I am finally coming at y'all with another one of my one brand tutorials. In today's video, we are going to be doing a full face of Pat Mcgrath Labs. If you are new to the channel, I have a full playlist of me doing a full face using a single brand. So I will leave that up above so you guys can check that out. But if you are interested in seeing how I created this look, then please keep on watching. Before we start the video, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please turn your post notifications on so you get notified every time your girl uploads a video, and follow me on Instagram. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright you guys, so the brows are already done because Pat Mcgrath does not have brow products, so I just did them off camera, but I have my full brow routine on my channel, so I'll leave that up above so you guys can check that out. But I am going to be taking the Pat Mcgrath concealer. I'm using the shade MD23 as my eyeshadow base, and I'm just going to blend this out with a Real Technique sponge and then set it down with a bit of powder. Alright y'all, so I have two eyeshadow palettes from Pat Mcgrath. I didn't want to film this video because both the eyeshadow palettes that I have are both limited edition, but I went on the Pat Mcgrath website this morning and I realized this one is on her website. I don't know why, but it's available on her website. This one is the Celestial Odyssey, so I'm going to be using this one, and I might jump into the Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette as well, but just in case you didn't get a chance to grab this palette, you can grab it from the Pat Mcgrath website. So I'm taking my E27 brush and I'm going to take this palette first, and I'm going to grab this shade right here, and I'm just going to blend that all over my lids just as like my transition. I don't know what eye look I'm creating. I'm just going to blend this in. And this shade is a lot deeper than I expected, but I'm just going to work with it. So as I said, I didn't expect the transition shade to be this deep, but I'm working with it. I don't know where I'm going with this eyeshadow, but I'm going somewhere. So I'm taking the M441 brush from Morphe, and I think I want to take this purple from the Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette and just focus that on the outer portions of the eyes. Just going in with a little bit just so I can see what it looks like next to that first shade. Okay, I like that. I'm just trying to lay the shadow down and then I'll gently blend it out. So I'm taking back the first brush and a little bit of the first shade just to blend the edges, but I don't want to like fully blend it out. I just don't want it to look super harsh. So I'm just gently blending right here. Alright y'all, so this is what the eyes are looking like so far. You guys know I like to keep it simple because I'm not the best when it comes down to eyeshadows. I don't know what to do now. I don't know if I'm supposed to leave it like with a matte lid or go in with like a super light shimmer like this shade right here. So I went off camera just to figure out what I wanted to do with the eyes. So I took a little bit of the NYX glitter primer, and I'm using this on the Morphe E36 brush. It's kind of like a little detailing fluffy kind of brush, and I'm just going to use this to apply the glitter primer anywhere that I want my shimmer to be, just so that the shimmer sticks a little bit better, because this one is more of like a loose kind of shimmer. And it's literally going to get everywhere if I don't do it like this. So I'm just pressing this everywhere that I want my shimmer. And what I do first is I go in with my finger and I apply this shade right here on the lid. just like so. Very, very light. And then, so using this brush isn't going to fully blend the purple and the shimmer together, so I'm taking the Color Drain flat brush and I just use that to blend the shimmer into the purple, kind of like drag it into the purple. And then after I do that, I just go back in with the purple shade on top of it. So I just touch up with the glitter primer anywhere that I feel like needs a little bit of shimmer. This needs to be a little bit higher. And then right in here. And then I'm using back the Color Drain flat brush with a little bit of the shimmer shade. I'm just going back over those areas. And this is what the eyes are looking like. I'm going to apply my lashes off camera and then I'll be right back to jump into the base. All right, you guys, lashes are on. This eye is a little bit patchy. I don't know if some of the glitter primer might have touched it and I applied powder on top of it, but we're just going to pretend like we didn't see that. For primer, I don't have a primer from Pat Mcgrath, so I just went in with some of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer, just a tad bit. So for foundation, I'm going in with the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I have this in the shade MD26. This is a foundation that I reach for on like my good skin days. This is just an amazing foundation. The finish is beautiful. And it is more of like a medium coverage kind of foundation. My scars on my forehead, they're kind of faded. I have one here. I recently got a pimple and I picked it, so that is kind of like scarring up. But for the most part, I don't have much to cover, so we should be good with this foundation. I'm going to apply this with the E63 brush from Morphe, just starting on my forehead. Alright, you guys, so foundation is on. I am going to go in with concealer. I have two shades in the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. I have the shade MD20 and the shade MD23. I'm going to go in with the shade MD23 first. Then for my under eyes, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the shade MD20. Which isn't very far from MD23. So I'm just gonna go over top MD20. Honestly, not very far off. I just feel like the undertone is a little bit different. I'm going to contour my face. Pat Mcgrath does not have any contour products, so I'm just going to use the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade 06 Chocolate. And I'm using this on another Morphe E63 brush. I'm taking back the foundation brush just to blend this concealer right here. This concealer is pretty full coverage, so you don't want to let it sit too long. If you happen to let it sit too long, you can go in with like a hydrating spray just so it's easier to blend. I'm going to take a Juno sponge and just blend the edges of the concealer on the forehead. I'm just going back in with the brush that I used for the contour just to make sure the edges super smooth and everything just looks together. So to blend the under eyes, don't worry, I'm going to blend my nose and all of that out a little bit more, but I'm going to use this sponge from e.l.f. I cannot find my microfiber sponge that I usually use under my eyes, so I'm just going to go in with this sponge. I'm taking the contour brush again and I'm just going over the edges of my concealer. So to set the under eyes, I don't have a loose powder from Pat Mcgrath, but I have the pressed powder. You guys know how much I love this. I use this as like a touch-up kind of powder. So I think I'm going to use another loose powder and then go over top with this one. I literally just dropped this and broke it. I have an empty container that I dropped it in, so I'm going to keep it in here or try to fix it. I don't know. But I'm going to go in with a loose powder and then I go in with this one. So I'm taking the sponge for the concealer just to blend any creasing under the eye. And then I'll go in with my powder. I'm taking my powder on a Real Techniques sponge. I'm using my Sephora translucent powder, by the way. Before I set the rest of my face, I'm taking this Real Techniques setting brush and I'm going in with the Pat Mcgrath powder under my eye. By the way, this is the Skin Fetich Sublime Press Powder and I have this in the shade Medium. I'm going to put this on my forehead as well. I'm going to set the rest of my face. Pat Mcgrath doesn't have like a all over pressed powder, so I'm using my Dior Powder No Powder in the shade 6N. Just going to use this to set everywhere else. Alright y'all, so before I do the rest of the face, I'm just going to do my lower lash line. I applied a little bit of brown liner and I'm just going to take this shade right here. I'm taking this on a M213 brush and I'm just going to use that to blend the brown liner out. Alright you guys, so I applied mascara to my top and bottom lashes. I'm going to go in with a bronzer. We are still waiting for Pat Mcgrath to give us bronzers. So I'm just going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Bronzer in the shade Deep number 4. And I'm using a E4 brush to apply this. My eyes are watering and I do not know why, but I'm just going to ignore it and apply blush. I'm using the Blush Without Caution. This is in the shade Electric Bloom. I feel like the blush is going to throw off the eye look, but it is what it is. And I'm applying this with my Wet n Wild brush. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Just wow. 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 I found my new favorite powder blush. When I say pigmented, I did not expect it to give so much pigment. I know the blush and the eyes are, you know, not matching up, but y'all, this blush is gorgeous. I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Garnier spray because I'm looking very powdery at the moment, but y'all, I'm in love with this blush. Alright y'all, so let's jump into the lips. My eyes are still watering. I was waiting for it to stop, but it doesn't look like it's going to stop. So I'm going to line my lips with a brown liner. I don't have a brown liner from Pat Mcgrath. I don't know of her having a brown liner. So I'm going to line with a regular brown liner. This one is from NYX in the shade Espresso. I have 3 glosses from Pat Mcgrath. I have the shade Flesh 4, the shade Flesh Fantasy, which is one of my favorites, and the shade Bronze Temptation. I'm going to use the shade Flesh Fantasy because it's more of a nudie shade. These two are more like colorful, and I feel like I have enough color going on. So I'm going to use Flesh Fantasy, but I'm going in with a lipstick. I'm using Honey Love from MAC, because I don't have a Pat Mcgrath lipstick. I thought that I had one. Maybe I did, and I just don't know where it is. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to top it off with Flesh Fantasy. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. I do feel like the colors are a little bit all over the place from the eyeshadow and the blush color and then the lip combo, but I feel like everything looks really good. I was struggling a little bit off camera because, as I said, my eyes are watering, but nonetheless the look looks really good. I feel like the foundation concealer combo from Pat Mcgrath is just a must-have. The foundation isn't full coverage, but the concealer makes up for the coverage that you are not going to get from the foundation, and it just looks beautiful on the skin. You guys, this blush, if you don't own this blush, you need this blush. I'm hoping that when I mention this blush in my Sephora haul, I'm hoping that somebody picked this blush up, because y'all, this blush is gorgeous. Once again, this is in the shade Electric Bloom. Everything that I used I will have linked down below for you guys, but I'm hoping that somebody picked this blush up, because if you're looking for the perfect orange blush, this is it. If you want like a powder formula and it's not super chalky on the skin, it literally melts into my skin like butter. It's just a beautiful blush. I highly recommend this one from Pat Mcgrath. And then the glosses are amazing. I love the formula of the Pat Mcgrath glosses. They are pricey, but they have some like mini sets. If I can find them, I'll have it linked down below. I got the 3 that I have in a set, and it's just a good way to try the glosses out from the brand without breaking the bank. The eyeshadows are amazing. The formula is amazing. All in all, I feel like the look came out really nicely. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like this look. If there is another brand that you guys would like me to try to do a full face off, let me know in the comment section down below. Once again, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.